So this is my 2012 Tiger 800. I stopped for gas at a gas station on a little trip I was taking this weekend and filled it up with gas, started it up, no problem. When I went to leave, I had no gears, not a single one. And at first I thought it was an issue with the clutch, but I turned the bike off, selected gears, tried pushing the bike, and the bike, you could push it. So it wasn't engaging any gears, or at least it wasn't engaging the rear wheel. So baffled as I wound up towing it home and trying to figure out what it was, and with some help from some friends on the internet, I did find out what it was, and I'm going to share that with you now. So what it'll do is you'll be able to move the shifter just fine, and you'll probably feel it go into different gears, but there's going to be no forward momentum, no drag on the chain, nothing like that. It's almost like the transmission is no longer connected to anything else. So I brought it home, and I was fearing the worst, figured something internally in the gearbox had gone bad, but it didn't make any sense because all I did was pull in and turn it off and start it up again, and then it wouldn't go. So what happened? Well, this is the first thing you're going to want to check. So you're going to want to take this cover off. There's two 6mm head bolts, one here and one down at the bottom, and also remove this. I think this is an 8, and you have to take this bolt fully out because it goes into a cutout on the shaft that it goes over. I have this loose for the purpose of the video, so we'll take that off, get that guy out of the way, and then we'll take the cover off. And this hose goes in here behind. You have to keep that in mind as you go to put it back together. And what you'll probably find is this. The nut has gone missing. Now there should be a nut there and a lock washer that has a fold over tab that's supposed to hold that nut and keep it in place. And I've seen a couple instances on the internet of this having happened to other people. And a lot of times what will happen is this nut will come off and disappear, and you won't realize it. But the bike will still go because the front sprocket is still connected to the output shaft. Eventually, the thing will work its way out, and then it'll fall off like this one has. You can kind of see it there. I don't want to take it the rest of the way off, but you can see it's not really attached. And you can just spin it, and it's not actually attached. There's splines in here, and you'll see they're just sitting on the outer part of this shaft. They're not actually splined in there. So this pulley has to go back farther and then be secured with the nut that's missing. So if this happens to you on the road, you're kind of stuck because without a nut, you're not going to be able to keep it on. And it's going to be an odd size nut. You're probably not going to find it at a hardware store. So the best thing to do, of course, is preventative maintenance, is to torque this thing on a regular basis or check it, make sure it's not getting loose. If you're getting a sound that sounds like a little bit of a knock from this area, and or it sounds like you have a chain that has maybe a stuck or sticky link in it, that's probably an indicator that this nut's starting to come loose, because it's going to make a little bit of a slack. It's going to have slack in there. It's going to knock back and forth a little bit until it finally lets loose. So if you start to hear that noise, this is what you want to check before it becomes a real problem. Hopefully, all I have to do is order the nut and the washer and put it back together, and that should solve it. It's possible, of course, that it could have damaged the splines in there. I haven't gotten in that far yet, but most of the people that this happens to, it seems to just lose the nut and you lose drive, and that's kind of it. So hopefully that's all that there is. If there's anything worse than that, of course, I'll follow up with another video. But at this point, I just wanted to share that because it's a very scary thing to think that you have a big, expensive gearbox problem almost ready to face you, and it's really just a simple matter of replacing a nut. The only bad side is, of course, this is going to leave you stranded. So hopefully that's help. If you're stuck out there on the road wondering why you don't have any gears and you found this video, I feel for you. I had to find a way home an hour away from where this one broke down, tow it home, and get it in the garage to fix it. Hopefully that's helpful. Leave some comments below if you have any. Appreciate you watching. Addendum to the video before I let you go. I did pull this pulley off because I thought I should probably show that to you. It wasn't cooperating when I was filming the first time, but this is the pulley. You can see the splines inside there, and they look fine. I think we're going to be okay. Same way with the output shaft here. You can see the splines are perfectly fine. You can see how dry they are, so you're going to want to grease those up too before you put it back together. That's it. Thanks for watching.